cursed luck. Well, well. Distinguished guest. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
So who do I owe that to? You wouldn't have had anything to do with this, would you, Hanush?
You've no one to thank for that but yourself, Godwin. If you hadn't been living like an animal, you wouldn't be regretting it now.
You're wrong, though. I don't regret anything.
And I trust you won't regret hearing us out now. We have a secret mission for you.
I'm all ears, Sir Radzik.
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Bergoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger. The League of Lords fella.
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should, but he's not.
And now you want me to find out why he's not here yet.
That's right. You'll go to Trotsky and see if anything's happened to him.
Why don't you send Henry after him? As far as I know, he's always done a good job for you.
That's exactly why he went with Capon.
So it's more serious than I thought. All right. I'll do it.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's come in.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again.
Oh, yeah?
Give over.
After all, as you know, I'm just a common dung grubber, while you're the great Bellatore.
Bellator. But I was stupid to think like that. It was stupid. But now I'm sitting here too for behaving like a Bellator. I might have left you in it.
Yeah, you might.
And nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved badly. Awfully.
Do you realise the shit you got me into? I was stuck in a foreign region, far from home, without money, without my things, and the worst of it all, I was completely alone.
I know! I already said I behaved like a fool, all right? So, what were you getting up to the whole time anyway?
I was working in the Blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh, well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time I was actually chasing after lost carts or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
Well, you haven't been idle. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, envoy to the royal hetman, and poacher.
Only commoners poach. I was hunting in the territory of another noble. Without his permission, admittedly.
But that's a capital crime.
Ah, bollocks! Nothing to worry about.
Heaven help us.
Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God!
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable! We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa!
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You! Come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now!
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? But you can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hans!
But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it! Move it!
I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Ratai. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fella will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
Why did they move your captain to the chapel? All that way up?
So he'd be closer to God. Either the good Lord will help him or take him to his bosom. The captain's in a really bad way. And our Sawbones is away with Lord von Berghoff.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job, and when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What do you expect? The axe? Lord von Berghoff is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Or Sinner the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
That wagon has to be out of here before his lordship returns.
Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking. It's a lot better here in Frosty.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you.
And why wouldn't they when it's true? It'll be bad, I tell you.
I don't know. Seems to me it's always the same. Bad.
Well, it'll be even worse. Look, there's a rabble running rampant over the countryside. They even packed up that captain. Hear what you're saying.
Leave it alone, would you?
Lord Fenning's wedding like.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
I wasn't talking about her, of course. The bride's always the prettiest.
I've been at weddings where that wasn't the case, unfortunately. But I heard it ended in a brawl.
Aye. Some idiots had a punch-up. It's practically a tradition, you know?
A pretty stupid tradition. The poor newlyweds. It's supposed to be a celebration and some numbskulls start fighting.
You're right.
Hey, Wojtek. We've still got work to do. Come and help.
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye. Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
Me neither. But all I care about is you giving me a hand. Those sacks won't carry themselves.
I'll just finish what I'm discussing with Magda and I'll be right with you.
Are you also helping Wojtek's uncle?
Sure. Me and Wojtek are helping his uncle. And I'm sure Wojtek's uncle would rather he stopped gabbing and gave me a hand.
I wouldn't want to keep you lads from your work. Take care then.
Thanks a lot. Are you on some kind of mission to ruin my fucking life?
You should thank me for not saying what you're really doing here. And now come and give me a hand.
That's just great.
Hear any of that. Someone will overhear and you'll get in trouble.
Nah, I'm only a sweaty blacksmith. Who'd care what I think?
Who knows? But someone might care why I do.
That's that.
A drop of wine and a bite to eat.
Aha! So it's true what the laundresses say then, that you go and report on them to the Chamberlain.
I wouldn't put it that way. Nothing escapes my eye, and Ulrich knows that, so he sometimes invites me for a chat about what's going on.
Call it what you like. Nobody likes snitches, nor brown nosers neither.
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith, a respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what, go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom, always bothering me that he don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
Well, it depends. Usually 4, but once there was a 3-legged foal born in our village.
All right, all right. You're a fool, but maybe you're a handy one. So go and make 1 horseshoe for the groom, all right?
But a horse has 4.
Aye, but Kabat's missing just 1, and I ain't going to waste more on him.
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right, but I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads, this here itinerant is mine.
Go away. No one wants any tramps around here.
That damn wretch.
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? He always takes this bit of wire and opens the chest for me, and then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
But the blacksmith is just around the corner.
I know he is, only he tells me to wait, that he's got more important things to do.
Seems to me he's just talking.
I wouldn't be surprised, the lazy wretch. But what can I do? I'm just a loudmouth cook, so I have to wait.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
Oh, you said the blacksmith knew how to do it, though. So the blacksmith isn't a decent man?
Aye, and he ain't decent. He's a nasty piece of work.
I know how to do it, but first I have to get tools for it.
All right, I'll wait here. Another while won't kill me.
Do you know how I can get up to the chapel?
You can't. Only his lordship and his family go there. And of course, Father Nicodemus. Usually, that is. Only now, Captain Thomas is lying there. He's at death's door. God save him.
I understand. Still no sign of the blacksmith?
None at all. And if I can't get nothing baked for his lordship on account of him, it'll be a sorry day for the both of us.
Oh well. I hope he turns up soon.
He ought to, the damn scoundrel.
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables. The grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. Fanka the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open the spice chest.
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
Maybe if you fixed it, she'd stop bothering you.
Maybe if your pa wiped you off on his sleeve, you wouldn't be here making cheeky remarks. I'm a castle blacksmith, not some village tinker. I've more important things to do.
She told me you always open it with some implement. I'll gladly do it if you tell me where to find one.
Jesus, why do you even talk to that woman?
I'm supposed to help out around here.
What of it? I already let you into the forge anyway. There's this small red pot on a shelf there with some lockpicks in it. But I don't suppose you know how to use one.
As it happens, I do.
I'd rather not ask where you learned. Although you just got out of jail though, eh? Just don't get up to any funny business with them.
Sure. So I got what I needed, and we can get to it. Where's that chest?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the roux in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising to fix it. But no. After all, I'm just a stupid cook Fanka. who's always nagging and won't leave anyone in peace. But if I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this godforsaken castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning. The lazy bones. Pfui!
Sir Otto will be back any time, so make sure everything's in order. I don't want to see any idling here. Oh, it's killing me again.
Here it is, that damn chest. 3 years I've been telling him. God's truth.
And make sure those liverwursts are well roasted.
The second toll for Hans.
Outside and juicy on the inside. Nothing half cooked. Oh, talk of food makes my stomach turn.
Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
Farewell, my friend.
Well roasted. So they're crisp on the outside and juicy on the inside.
Hans! Are you there?
Henry! Is that you? You've got to get me the fuck out of here. They want to hang me.
I think they're just exaggerating. Don't worry. It'll be all right.
I don't know. But I don't want to be stuck in here anyway. This is no place for me. A noble.
Well, unfortunately, no one believes you are one.
You've got to find that Captain Thomas, who can testify who we are.
I know. But they took him during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden Tower. They won't let me in there.
Jesus! Why do I have to have such rotten luck? Christ wounds.
Don't blaspheme. A person in your shoes can't risk that.
It's all the same. How did you get in here anyway? Did they let you come and see me?
Oh, not exactly. I shouldn't be here. And if they catch me, the game's up.
That's not good. There's a guard just around the corner watching the jail.
Well, I'll have to try and get further. I'll manage it somehow.
Just don't get caught.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Species de cipit, sir. Looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore of Seville, the writings of Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worse in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Tell me, sir, what about your, let's say, nighttime activities?
Well, I'm not married, if you're asking about that.
But that's no obstacle, is it? Although the Holy Scriptures call on us to be chaste, even a saint can sometimes sin.
Not I. I never managed to find the right woman who would, how shall I put it, who would be a good counterpart for me and yet not provoke outrage.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Actually, neither am I.
Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. I believe your stomach juices are out of balance, sir.
That's what the professor from Kolin said. But what to do about it?
Well, unfortunately, I can't change the causes of your condition, but I can help you with its symptoms. I think some herbal potion for the stomach would bring you relief.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. Besides caring for your mortal coil, the well-being of your soul shouldn't be neglected, sir.
What do you mean by that?
I think I could pray for your health. A word to angels to ask for their intercession can work miracles. The greatest Christian physicians recommend healing in both the material and spiritual world. And you have a very nice chapel here.
Father Nicodemus takes care of that. What I want from you is medicine, not talking to angels. Got it?
Yes. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Ow! And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship.
If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there. Not a step to it.
grub you're after, you'll have to wait. I've been here for ages. And I...
Let me pass. The Master Chamberlain isn't well, and he sent me to the surgeon's study for medicine.
All right, then. But nothing better go missing there.
Don't worry. I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread.
You might be surprised. Oh, I must have got mixed up.
Well, go and get mixed up somewhere else, beggar.
I can try and find something for you.
Haven't you got anything better to do?
Not really. Besides, I'm quite hungry myself.
Go and look, then. There's some baths down below. There might be something there. I'd go myself, but if someone saw me there, I'd be in trouble. Ever since... well, never mind.
I'll figure it out somehow. Why don't you go to the other kitchen? They're cooking there.
Are you daft? That's the noble's kitchen. We get our food here.
I'll be going then.
Go, and if you meet the cook, send her here.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time. What are you here for today?
Show me your wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then?
Make sure there's a goose in sauce prepared, and that it's not too sweet like the last time. Ow! God above. Starting up again.
Fella.
I could tell that's stolen from a mile away. I'll buy it, but at a discount. Let's talk about the price.
Here. And something for your trouble.
Well, well. Thanks a lot. Thank you, and take care.
Once more, then.
What do you need?
Show me your wares.
I hope
Get
you'll be
back to work.
satisfied. Take care.
Still hungry, are you?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it. Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
The third toll. I better get moving.
You!
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
Nothing. It's just common manners that people introduce themselves to others.
Well, I always was an unmannerly girl, so tough luck.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
They let me out. I have to work off my sentence.
Really? Here. And what kind of important work would that be?
The Chamberlain sent me. He needs something for his stomach.
That slimy toad? If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
Because we're birds of a feather.
How do you mean?
Well, let's just say we both go where we shouldn't be going and take things that don't belong to us.
Oh, really? You must be mixing me up with someone. I just clean up here. And you don't look like someone who knows much.
Why, do you think?
Because otherwise you wouldn't let yourself be pickpocketed.
What?
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
fourth bell. Damnation. Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I've got something for you that could bring you relief.
About time. This? It looks suspicious. Are you sure it'll help?
Definitely. It will balance your humours, sir. Drink it for a month at least, in small doses, morning and evening.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
Couldn't I go and pray in your chapel?
Ah, that again. Good heavens. Go where you want, boy. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you, sir. I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here. So either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Sure. I wouldn't want to be rude.
Very wise.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Let's see what you've got.
Yeah, maybe next time then.
I'm sorry.
creeping around?
Everyone to me. You there! Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? I don't know what to say. And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him more.
God moves in mysterious ways. We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, the worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble.
Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain...
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble. That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Ratai, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my Chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Your Chamberlain's welcome was appropriate enough, considering our appearance, the situation in your domain, and your orders, sir.
Ah. I appreciate your diplomacy, young man. Master Chamberlain Ulrich can sometimes be more hasty and passionate than is healthy. And we are glad you hold no grudge against him. Are we not, Ulrich?
I regret what happened, gentlemen. Please accept my humblest apologies.
Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy. So we have common interests, too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Ulrich here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. Gentlemen, follow me.